Is there something funky with the way the script is, line break wise?
No, it's very emotional for me to say this.
Oh, good. I like that. That's good.
I'm just fighting not to cry. A few days ago, I saw this comment in one of my videos. Pod sounds cool. I purchased mics and equipment back in April 2020. And I have been too scared to start a podcast. I worry it won't be entertaining enough. I also worry my voice will be annoying. How do you get over the fear? How do you start? Not equipment, but courage. What are some good tips? And this isn't the first time I've gotten comments like this. So in this video, I thought I'd do something a little different and share with you how I came from hiding in my cubicle at my corporate job to making videos, recording a podcast, producing podcasts, teaching online courses, and even being interviewed by a news channel. If you've been dancing with the idea of sharing your story, your art, your skills on a podcast or here on YouTube or social media, but every time you take a step forward, your inner jerk tells you things like, you have nothing important to say. Nobody will listen, people don't care. Nobody won't even understand your accent. Your voice is so annoying, you talk so slow. Oh, Veronica, you will fail miserably again. What will your friends, family, and colleagues think of you? Maybe you purchased equipment, signed up for an online course or two, or even started secretly recording when nobody's around and are mortified to share it with other people. Maybe you don't have people in your life encouraging you to go for it. Or even worse, every time you bring it up, you are met with resistance or negativity. I'm here to tell you that you're not the only one, and even though you may think that I look confident in my videos, I'm not. Building my confidence is something that I have to work on daily to be able to do what I do. Because here's the thing, you don't want those thoughts or limitations to keep you away from what you're meant to be and the lives that you're meant to touch. So I thought I'd share with you what I've done and keep doing to overcome my insecurities. I'm going to tell you a little bit of how I ended up being a podcast coach and a content creator. And as usual, I will share actionable tips to get you in front of the microphone or the camera in no time. So make sure you watch until the end. But before we move on, I'd like you to share in the comments below if this is the big reason why you haven't started your podcast yet. This is a safe place for you to share. I want us to encourage each other to finally put that launch date in ink. As a podcast coach, one of the things I love the most about what I do is the transformations I get to see in my clients and students, their sense of accomplishment when they get over major roadblocks like learning how to use their recording equipment, learning how to record and edit audio, and getting in front of the microphone and start recording. Some days I feel like a total imposter for coaching them through their insecurities. I'd have the perfect thing to say to encourage them while being so hard on myself and being unforgiving of my own mistakes. My whole life, I've been working so hard to stay in the dark and not to stand out. And even though I enjoy challenging myself with new projects, I would end up hiding and not putting my best effort. I did it when I went to law school, and I did it in my first job after graduating. I had big dreams, and somehow I ended up in a cubicle in a forgotten corner in my corporate job. While dealing with the shame and disappointment of my unfulfilled professional life, I became an avid podcast listener. Listening to podcasts gave me a different perspective of what my future could look like. I listened to podcasts about business, startups, entrepreneurship, and self-improvement. The stories shared in those episodes gave me the inspiration and the strength to quit my job and venture into creating the Pod Sound School with Studio Steve. I wanted so desperately to bring purpose into my life and into what I do. And even though my purpose of being the voice of those who had been harmed, the whole reason why I went to law school, didn't come to fruition, I found an even deeper purpose, which is to teach others how they can grab a microphone and amplify their message so they can find their people and build communities so they're heard and seen, so they too can find their purpose. But finding my purpose didn't come easy. At the beginning of the Pod Sound School, I felt insecure, ridiculous for even trying. I have to write my videos and episodes word for word, and even then, I would still struggle. I was mortified by what my colleagues would think of me and my family members. I'd be so disappointed when I would post a video or podcast episode and I would hear only crickets. Are people even listening, I wonder? But things started to shift when our message started resonating with a few people, and those few became hundreds, and those hundreds became hundreds of thousands. That's when I realized that the best thing I had done was to decide not to live in the shadows anymore and let myself be seen and heard despite of my flaws and shortcomings, and start showing up for my people. Start showing up for you. And believe me, it hasn't been all flowers and unicorns, or como mi abuela dice, color de rosa. You will not launch your podcast and automatically get people to like you and to love you and validate you. Just as you will find people who will be thankful for what you have to share, there will be people who will criticize you, won't like what you're doing, and will doubt you. Producing a podcast or making videos is hard work. There will be days when you don't feel like doing it. But as long as you keep moving forward, you will see results. You only have to start. But whatever your situation is, I want you to get unstuck today. I want you to start planning and figuring things out so you can start putting yourself out there. So let's talk about things you can do to overcome your fears and insecurities once and for all. And just to clarify, I'm not a life coach or a motivational speaker, but I have some experience after working with students and clients who are in the same boat as you. Number one, find your purpose. You may have heard other people talking about purpose. You may even have your purpose already clear in your mind, or maybe you haven't found your purpose, and that's okay too. According to Mel Robbins, one of my go-to motivational speakers and authors, to find your purpose, you should try to figure it out what energizes you and what gives you joy, and finding the courage to share your full self with the world. Purpose is the thing that you were born to do. Maybe you were born to entertain and make other people laugh and forget about their problems. Maybe your purpose is to share your story so others don't feel alone in their journey. Maybe your purpose is to empower people with knowledge and skills so they can go off and accomplish great things. When we find our purpose, we become laser focused on our goals and we take action unapologetically. We don't go around seeking approval or validation. We wake up every day, every morning, and do the work. Whatever your purpose is, podcasting can be one of the vehicles you use to fulfill that purpose, or it can be what will get you closer to figure it out what your purpose is. So focus on fulfilling your purpose and silence the rest. Number two, connect with other people who are doing what you want to do. Whether it is podcasting, YouTube, or social media, find local or online communities and be active in those communities. Ask questions, start conversations, seek for advice. You can also find coaches and mentors that can work with you and give you direction and accountability. You don't have to do it alone. The more you hang out with your crowd, with people in the podcast industry who are killing it, the more you will draw from their inspiration, their energy, and experience. Number three, take action. You can have all the best plans and dreams in the world, but if you don't take action, big or small, these big plans will start to turn sour. And instead of getting excited about your project ahead, you will start feeling like you fail again because you haven't taken action. So join podcast communities, get curious and ask questions, follow other podcasters on social media, start learning, hit the record button, publish the trailer, whatever, just take action. And if talking into the microphone is what paralyzes you, I want you to start doing it. Let's tackle those insecurities head on. To my Latinx community or anybody who's trying to do podcast in a second language, English. Inglés es mi segunda lengua y entiendo perfectamente lo difícil que puede ser. Here are my tips if you feel self-conscious about your accent or you feel that you will not make any sense. I used to do this in law school too, so what I want you to do is to write your episodes and ask a friend, significant other, or family member who is a native speaker to proofread your script and also ask for feedback. Or even better, read the script to them to see if the idea you're trying to convey makes sense. After a while of doing this consistently, you will become more confident in your writing and performance in front of the microphone or camera. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Because you will feel vulnerable when you show your writing and your ideas to other people. But thanks to that, I became a better writer. That helped me in writing better episodes and better videos. So find a trusted person who will give you honest feedback. Someone you feel is safe to share your ideas with. Don't ask that negative friend who always puts you down and undermines your ideas. No, don't do that. Number 4, practice, practice, practice. There are different ways that you can practice recording a podcast. If you're terrified of publishing episodes, here's a fun exercise: audio blogging. I want you to pull up the voice memo app in your phone and start recording what you're doing throughout the day. Recording your thoughts and ideas. Instead of keeping those thoughts in your head, you record them. At the end of the day, I want you to listen to what you've recorded. Not to criticize yourself and be like, ugh, but to get used to the sound of your voice. I still cringe a little, like right now. I still cringe a little when I listen to my own episodes, so it's totally okay if you do. This exercise is not only good to start building your confidence, but it can also be a great way for you to start working on episode ideas. I want you to record them right when they come up so you don't forget them. Something else you can do is to join Clubhouse conversations or Twitter spaces and start practicing sharing your ideas and opinions in audio form. Also, while you're at it, you can create connections with other creators and podcasters. If you're planning on making videos for your YouTube channel, something that helped me get over the anxiety of making videos for YouTube was to make little short videos for IG stories. Instagram stories are a great place to start because you can use filters, add emojis, and captions. Stories are also deleted from your account after 24 hours, so if you don't feel good about your video, it will be gone the next day. And here's my last tip. I want you to be brave and set your launch date. I want you to pick a launch date and share it with as many people as you can. Share it on your social media, share it with your friends and family, and start piecing the steps together on how you will do it. We're here with plenty of resources for you. We have videos here on our channel teaching you everything you need to know about podcasting. If you don't know where to start, we have this video showing you how you can launch a podcast. We have podcasting courses if you need more training or don't want to bother with piecing the information together. We also work one-on-one with clients if you need accountability, strategy, and a more custom podcast. You can find the link to all these resources I mentioned in the description box below. And there you go, mi amigo. I hope this message stays with you and I get to be the voice in your head to tell you that you, your story, and what you have to offer matter. Don't keep it to yourself. Be the inspiration for those who are behind you. I want to see you launching your podcast soon. Drop the launch date in the comments below. And before you go, 2 things. No olviden hacer la tarea and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Happy casting, my friend. Don't keep it to yourself, boo.
Maybe you shouldn't say boo. Just say don't
Don't keep it to yourself, boo. No?
Yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
don't like boo.
I do
Like
boo.
this is like the fourth time I bring it up and you don't like boo. Or you don't like boo.
I like boo. I'm okay, boo boo.
Okay, I'm not gonna say boo.